Hey, Love Biscuits, how are you? Welcome and thanks for watching Tea and Trivia with Stu. That's me. I'm Stu. My name is Stu Jameson, Stupendous Productions. Thank you so much for hanging out and watching this. I really appreciate it. This is all about just having a good time, taking a break from the daily grind, learning some fun facts, playing a little trivia, and most importantly, just having a little bit of fun. That's what it's all about. So thanks so much for tuning in. I really appreciate it. And this is episode 6, y'all. Here, it's sign language. 6, y'all. I'm so excited. It's just so fantastic. And thank you for those who've been watching and supporting. I hope that you've been enjoying this as much as I enjoy making them for you. It's been a blast, and I'm going to keep on doing it because I'm enjoying it. So I'll keep doing it. You keep watching. It'll be a beautiful blend of things. Greetings, by the way, from, I don't know where you're watching this, but a very dreary Chicago wet day. But we're only 10 days away from spring from when I filmed this. So hang in there, y'all. We're almost there. So close. But I hope wherever you are is much sunnier and brighter and cheerful, and it's not very pleasant. But you know what? Who cares? We're all together. That's the important part. So here's how this is going to work. I'm going to give you some fun facts, some fun trivia, and hopefully you'll learn things you didn't know. You can impress your friends and family. And most importantly, just have a good time. Kick back with a cup of tea or a cup of joe, and let's just get right to it, shall you? This first round was inspired by I was just in Florida for a family epic wedding. It was super fun to be with my family and hanging out with them for a few days. So it got me thinking, and I thought this will be fun. So let's get right into this, shall we? I'm going to give you names of family members of a famous family. It could be a real family, or it could be a fictitious family from a movie or TV show. Your goal, recognize those names and name that family. What is the last name of that family? So, here we go. Raise a glass to you. And let's get into it, shall we? So here are members of a family. What is the name of that family? Kermit, Theodore, Eleanor. Kermit, Theodore, Eleanor. I'll give you a second. Do they sound familiar to you? President Theodore, First Lady Eleanor. Yeah, the Roosevelts. The Roosevelts. If you don't know who Kermit is the son of Theodore. See, there you go. Already learned something already. This is a fun one. Carl, Harriet, Judy, Eddie. Carl, Harriet, Judy, Eddie. What if I said Laura, Carl, Harriet, Judy, Eddie? I'm throwing in Laura to help you out. It's the Winslows. The Winslows from Family Matters. Do you remember Judy, the youngest one that was written off the show? So they sent her up to her room because she was grounded. And she never came down again. Ooh, oh, poor Judy. Man, that was just crazy. But yes, the Winslows, Family Matter. Good job. What about this one? Harry, Albert, Sam, and Jack. This is a thinker. Harry, Albert, Sam, and Jack. I'll give you a clue. Think old classic Hollywood. Harry, Albert, Sam, and Jack. Old classic Hollywood. That's a clue for you. Any ideas? Those 4 are the original, the actual Warner Brothers, the Warner Brothers Studios. Those were 4 real brothers, the Warner Brothers. Harry, Albert, Sam, and Jack, the Warner Brothers. Those are real people. Last one. Ethelene, Margot, Richie, Chas. Ethelene, Margot, Richie. What if I said Royal, the Tenenbaums, the Tenenbaums. You're so good. Air high five to you. You know your families. All right, let's move on, shall we? We only have 15 minutes, so we're going to keep this thing going. Another thing happening this week, I'm sure you are fully aware of. Perhaps you're still recovering from losing that precious hour over the weekend. We sprung ahead. We have been once again robbed of a precious hour of our lives. By the way, I hope that by the time you've watched this, you have figured out it's daylight saving time, and I'm not the first one to tell you because you've been late to everything for the past however long it's been. I hope that's not the case. But if you did know, you know now. Change your clocks. But yes, daylight savings time just happened. We've all sprung ahead, the new time in our lives. I thought, maybe I'll give you some interesting things about daylight savings time because, we got to live through it. So might as well make the most of it. The concept of daylight savings time was around for a while, but it soon officially was adopted by countries in Europe as a way to save coal. What global event was occurring that really made daylight savings from a kind of done, kind of not done thing to an officially adopted, everyone was doing thing? What put it into effect? What global event was it that officially countries adopted and made it official thing to save coal? A world event. Notice that I said world instead of global to help you. It was World War One. World War One. 1916, Germany was the first, then Britain, and then in 1918, once America joined the war, we as well officially adopted it and made it an official thing. So we've been doing this for a while, springing forward, falling back for a very long time. Do you know which U.S. continental state skips springing ahead every year? There's a state in the continental United States that does not do it. Do you know what state it is? What state could that possibly be? It's a state that they get a lot of sunshine. They probably don't need any more. Need more time? I'll give it to you. How would I know? I was just joking. It's Arizona. But here's a tricky situation about that. So Arizona, the state, does not spring ahead, but the Navajo Nation that is in Arizona, they do spring ahead. So you have the Navajos who are springing ahead, Arizona that does not spring ahead, and then to make matters even more complicated, you have the Hopi tribe that lives in the Navajo Nation, and they follow Arizona's rule, so they spring ahead. So you have Arizona does not, Navajo Nation does, Hopi tribe does not. So you literally have like a donut of Navajo Nation that springs ahead while the rest of the state does not. So for half of the year, they're on different time zones. That's pretty wild. And if you didn't know, now you know. Impress your friends and family tomorrow. This is interesting. So there's actually a specific reason why they do it at 2 a.m., why we spring forward at 2 a.m., and it's because they believe it's the less harsh time to really alter people's lives. They assume that if you're a night owl, by 2 a.m. you're already coming back, and you should be out and back from wherever you were. And if you're working the early shift, you should already be in bed getting a decent night's sleep anyways. So they thought that basically it was the most jarring time of the night to make it this spring ahead. So 2 a.m. they picked because they thought it was less like midnight. That's why. So, I mean, really, it's awful no matter when, but they thought it was less jarring at 2 a.m. instead of midnight. Finally, there were decades-long struggle. Lobbyists fought to push back the fall daylight savings time. When you fall back, they were fighting to push this back. They did not want it until later. They wanted to move it to the beginning of 1 month instead of the end of the month it currently was in. So they were doing this because who they were lobbying for, the industry, was taking a massive hit because of it, and so they wanted to change it. They wanted to alter it. What industry was fighting so hard to move daylight savings back to the beginning of a month instead of the end of a month? Remember, it happens in fall. It's the candy companies. The candy industry, they wanted to push it after Halloween instead of before Halloween because that time was making an impact on candy sales. So they fought, and now it is the beginning of November because the candy people won. So the candy industry changed time, y'all. They changed time. Whew, that is power right there. Another exciting thing happening this week. Friday the 13th is happening this week. So, perfect time to watch a horror movie marathon or just stay away from ladders and black cats. I've been around black cats. They're fine. Don't worry about that. But I thought it'd be interesting to do a round. I thought, you know what? I don't want to do a round about the movies Friday the 13th because I don't want to scare children. I don't know who's watching this. So I thought instead we'd do something a little spooky, but manageable. It's my genre of horror. Spooky, but manageable. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. In the spirit of Friday the 13th, I'm going to give you the title of a pilot. And this title of a pilot is one of 3 shows. It could be Tales from the Crypt. Remember that show? It could be Goosebumps, or it could be Are You Afraid of the Dark? You remember those classic shows? So these are all spooky but manageable shows. I need to copyright that. So once again, I'm going to give you the topic. I'm going to give you the title of the pilot of that series, and you have to decide. I'll give you the answers at the end of it, so you have to think which one does it fit into. Once again, your options are Tales from the Crypt, Are You Afraid of the Dark, or Goosebumps. So here we go. Good luck to you. The first one, this is the pilot. The pilot series, the pilot show was called The Tale of the Phantom Cab. The Tale of the Phantom Cab. Ooh, spooky but manageable. Ooh. Okay, is it Are You Afraid of the Dark, Goosebumps, or Tales from the Crypt, The Tale of the Phantom Cab? Second option, The Haunted Mask, Part 1. Ooh, a pilot so big it got 2 episodes. The Haunted Mask, Part 1. Which of those 3 shows had the pilot? The Haunted Mask, Part 1. And finally, The Man Who Was Death. Ooh, all spooky but manageable. The Man Who Was Death. So once again, your options are The Tale of the Phantom Cab. Number 2, The Haunted Mask Part 1. And The Man Who Was Death. Take a moment, think about it. I'll sip my tea and give you a minute to think about it. Do you think you have it down? Are you ready to make your final decisions? All right, here we go. The Tale of the Phantom Cab. That is the pilot of Are You Afraid of the Dark on Snick. Well, then we have The Haunted Mask Part 1, which is Goosebumps, which means The Man Who Was Death was Tales from the Crypt. Good job, y'all. Nice work. Excellent job. Before we go, I want to give you just another fun thing. 2 legendary singers are celebrating birthdays. Can you guess who is celebrating birthdays They're both happening on Thursday. Can you guess who's having birthdays based on these song titles? I've mashed up the artist songs into one song title. So can you guess who's having birthdays based on these mashed up song titles? Quiet River. How Sweet New York Is. Fire and Money. Her Town in the Afternoon. Have you figured it out yet? Fire and Money. How Sweet New York Is. Yep, have you figured it out? If you did figure it out, then I should sing happy, and I would love to see your smiling face because it's Liza Minnelli and James Taylor. Good job. Liza Minnelli and James Taylor having birthdays on Thursday. Liza is 74, James is 72. So you know what? Take a moment on Thursday, listen to some great classic songs by those two awesome artists to celebrate their birthdays. But that's it for me, everybody. Thanks so much for watching this week. I hope you had a great time watching. I had a great time doing this for you. I hope you learned some interesting things. Take those interesting things, impress your friends, your families, your coworkers. And if you would love to follow along, hit subscribe on this. I really appreciate you following me on this adventure. You can hit me up on Instagram or Facebook. If you have any topics or things you'd like to see in this show, put it in some comments. Maybe you want to say, hey, ask some questions about this. Give it to me. I love researching about things. But thanks for watching Love Biscuits, and I really hope that your day is filled with peace, love, and lots of bear hugs. Thanks so much, everybody. Until next time, see you next week. Bye!